Welcome back to MindMomBodyRN. I'm Rachel.
I'm Sophia.
And this is our podcast. You can also find us on MindMomBodyRN.com. Look us up. So this episode, we got to have our friend Sydnie, who is a professional stylist, come on. And
she's wearing the cutest outfit.
Yeah.
Which is on brand, of course.
Totally on brand. Yeah. Look her up, Sydnie Alamode, but we say it in the thing too. So before we get started, I have my Mom-edy, my funny story, personal anecdote. And then I am so excited to watch this interview again. Okay. So this was from Eloise just a few months ago, very randomly, because we said Sydnie is fantastic. And Eloise goes, "Good morning, Mom. I need to go to Paris tomorrow. Could you help me find an airplane? I want to make sure the windows are screwed tightly, though, so I don't fall out in the sky." I said, "Eloise, why do you need to go to Paris?" And she said, "Because it's fantastique. That's French for fantastic." Yes.
That's a really good one.
Yes. And on that note, here is Sydnie, who is also fantastic.
Fantastique.
Fantastique. Yes.
It's French.
Sydnie, welcome to MindMomBodyRN.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you for being here.
Yeah.
Okay. Tell us about yourself.
Hello.
Hello.
My name is Sydnie, and I work as a business owner and fashion consultant here in the Twin Cities. I came to be in this position because I started as a stylist for Alamode Wardrobe Consulting, which I now own. And from Sioux Falls, South Dakota originally, and studied apparel merchandising in college. Interned for a fashion designer here in the cities during college. He was on Project Runway at one point.
What?
And
You've told me this and I didn't remember it until just now.
Yeah. So that was kind of my sort of intro into being here in Minnesota.
Yes.
I guess I did do 1 year at Mankato, but that was sort of a fail. But
oh gosh, my aunt went to Mankato, and do you know what she told me? She only did 1 semester there, and she said the only thing that she took away from it was chlamydia.
Ooh, I'm not surprised. Yeah, it was not my jam. It was not my jam.
I'm just kidding. Yeah.
No.
Did you take chlamydia away from? No, I'm just kidding.
No, not at all. In fact, probably the opposite.
Opposite.
The opposite. Ended up, though, studying apparel merchandising, business, and dance, and did my fashion internship here, moved here in 2015, found Alamode Wardrobe Consulting, asked former business owner Carly about being a stylist.
Whoop, whoop.
And she thankfully said yes. And she said, there's going to be clients that are going to maybe judge based on your age. Because at the time I was, I think I was around 24.
She tried to pair us up.
She did?
She tried to pair us up.
You and I?
You and I. She said she did. She tried to pair us up, and I wouldn't do it, and I regret it.
No, honestly, though, I get it. It's one of those things where you're kind of like going to a doctor. You're you want to go to someone who's had a lot of experience and is maybe more mature. And so she kind of asked me, how are you going to combat people sort of initially judging you by your age.
Mm-hmm.
And I was thinking about it, and I'm I guess I would just try to follow suit with kind of what their style is and dress sort of similarly, but in a way that makes sense for my own style.
Yeah.
So if someone is more classic, I'm going to lean into my more classic clothes. And so that initial nonverbal indicator is going to maybe help soothe them into services with me.
That is genius.
Yeah, at the time I look back, I'm that's a really smart answer, Sydnie. But
Sydnie, wow, that was wow, and also so true. You think about put your dress on, grandma's coming over.
Right.
Yeah.
Put on the good pearls,
Yeah.
Yeah. So fast forward from 2015 to 2021. Sitting at a table in the food court at Mall of America with Carly.
What were you eating?
I think I was drinking Starbucks. Likely.
very on brand for you.
Yes. I love my coffee.
Yes.
And Carly drops this huge bomb of, hey, I'm done with a la mode. I'm going to open a restaurant. Do you want the business? My jaw fell to the table because I'm like, oh my God, what am I going to do? And then she continues on with, do you potentially want to buy the business from me? And I'm like, we're in the middle of COVID. I don't know. It's almost...
You were newly married too, weren't you?
I had gotten married summer of 2017. So I had been married for a few years.
Yeah. Okay.
But it was still like my husband and I were trying to navigate like what our next life steps were. And I went home, talked to him about it. And I'm like, I really want to do this. This is like really exciting to me. Mm-hmm. Owning a business is like a huge dream that I thought was maybe not possible. And now it's sort of coming to fruition in a way.
As in the universe was just like, here you go, Sydnie.
Yeah. I always used to like try to do business stuff as a kid without realizing it. Like grandparents would have this bar in the basement of their house and I would take their money for the products that they bought themselves, like play bartender. So yeah, in a way, I always wanted to do business.
Because I'm a hustler, baby.
Exactly.
Look at you. Wow.
Yeah. So
get it, girl.
It's been going really well. I work with men, women, some kids. So sometimes I end up doing photo shoots for like family photos for people where we're dressing the kids, mom, dad, all the things.
Yes.
So I get to work with a variety of clients, which keeps the adventure exciting.
It's also so awesome because like that brings joy for you. And I know for a lot of people, like they want beautiful family pictures.
Yeah.
They want that, but it's really hard to put together all the pieces for, especially if you have multiple kids, multiple ages, trying to like put that together aesthetically so everything matches. It's a lot. So that's really draining. So to be able to just hand that off to you and be like, like Sydnie, tagging Sydnie, right?
Yep.
Do you do a lot of that?
Yeah. Honestly, we do a lot of it on our online closet platform. So then we can literally link, hey, here's the items I think would work for each of you. And here's a way that I've sort of put the outfits together. So like if mom wears this, here's what I think dad and kids should wear.
Yes.
I always like to start with mom because mom to feel beautiful.
Because seriously, mom deserves it the most. Mom,
truly.
Mom deserves to like wear the outfit that makes her feel the best and everyone else can match that.
Exactly.
Like, come on.
Exactly. You can do one nice thing for mom.
We can do one nice thing for mom.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
This is my cat sweaters, as you've seen in other episodes, and we had to do a quick pause so that Sydnie could hold him, if you're wondering.
He's
for the
so
cut.
wonderful.
And he needs a sweater. Maybe you could style him.
Has he ever worn a sweater?
Oh, yeah.
That's how we found our cat Rusty on the Secondhand Hounds website. He was wearing a turtleneck sweater.
You told me that.
And I was like, I'm taking that cat.
I'm a stylist and he's wearing clothes. This animal was meant for me.
This is for me.
Yes. So as a mother, I often find myself prioritizing getting clothes for my kids over me. And it's like, it's hard to sometimes justify spending on ourselves for things that fit well. Like, I'll be honest, like, you know what I mean? Like, my favorite kind of jeans that like we found that work best for me, they're expensive.
100%.
And so like, how do you strike a balance between being stylish and practical?
Yeah, I think it's a big part of it is sort of putting your mind in, it's an investment into you. So just as you would go get a massage or even go to your doctor appointments or dentist, this is something that's going to make you feel good. And so figuring out like, okay, what pieces do I really want to invest in? Oftentimes I say the pieces that I like to tell people to invest in the most are shoes, number one, because that is going to go upwards into our posture, our back, and we don't want to mess with that. You want to buy nice shoes. Obviously, you don't have to go the most expensive, but you want to think quality in that regard. If your favorite fabric is, wool and you want to do a nice wool or a cashmere sweater, invest in that piece. It doesn't mean you have to have 10 of them. Invest in one that makes you feel happy. And as it's sitting in your closet, you can look at it, see it, and it's going to bring you a little bit of joy.
You're so right. I mean, we all deserve to have one outfit that we can. I mean, we all deserve much more than that. We deserve full wardrobes.
Yes.
But at a very minimum, like I'm telling you, no matter like what your budget is, like you, mama, deserve an outfit that you can put on that makes you feel good.
Absolutely.
Like yes, that's necessary. Like you deserve that. That's self-care. It makes a big difference too, because like I can literally be in shorts and t-shirts like all week long. And then I go to like one of my kids' conferences or something, and to be able to like put an outfit on and feel like I'm put together, it like I advocate for my kids better that way.
Exactly.
We just, amazing.
Even if it is more of an athleisure outfit, maybe making yourself feel good by going to, a favorite place, whether it's the Nordstrom in their active line or Lululemon or Athleta. I mean, they're going to focus on some of those quality things, but they're also finding a hybrid of, we know that people have different lifestyles of like potentially working, but also being on the go. And you might just feel a little more elevated with finding fashionable athleisure curated pieces.
Yeah. Like, so just more of a structured thing. What are your thoughts on like this? It seems newer to me, but like the whole idea of a capsule wardrobe.
Yeah. Oftentimes we have people that come to us that are like, I want a capsule wardrobe, which is a fine goal. But what I like to keep in mind is that we live in a place with 4 seasons. So you, in fact, are wanting 4 capsules. And so that's why I'm a big believer in we're kind of interchanging our wardrobes through the season. So recently I took out all of my winter attire from my seasonal storage.
Okay. Flipped
it with my hotter weather summer attire. So that's sort of, if you're thinking of a capsule that way, thinking of it seasonally, you can definitely make it happen. But I like to give that sort of disclaimer of, we can achieve it, but we do live in a place with so many.
It's not California.
No.
Right.
No.
Yes.
So we do need more pieces here than a place like California, potentially.
Right.
So.
Whereas like someone in California might actually probably need like a bigger capsule than our 4 seasonal ones. Because,
exactly.
Yeah. It goes everywhere.
And then, even people, I have a couple clients who travel full time. And so they live out of a suitcase. And so they do have to keep it really minimal. And it's 100% possible, but you have to be committed. And, you're going to find pieces that are washer friendly, no dry cleaning, things like that.
Yeah. And wow. I wonder do they get tired of pieces a lot more quickly?
I feel like it's going to be a combination of they get tired of pieces more quickly, and those pieces are going to tire out more quickly because you're not rotating as frequently with other pieces.
Yeah.
Right?
Because we all know that favorite feeling of like, that was my favorite outfit, and it stays the favorite outfit until one day you are just sick of it. Like you never want to see that outfit again. You're
exactly.
Just, like,
it's gone.
Time for something new.
Yep.
So a lot of body changes.
Absolutely.
Come with motherhood.
Yes.
So that can be, just being a woman living in this society in general, it can be really hard to feel good in our own skin.
Exactly.
But then when you add literally like another layer of motherhood and all the body changes that come with that to it, it's like, oh my gosh, dressing a postpartum body is hard if you don't know what you're doing. What advice do you have? Like, what are some good, you just tell me what you think about that.
Yes. Well, and I'm not a mom, so that's the one area where I'm like, even though I haven't experienced it myself, I see so much beauty in these women who have like had kids, and I just like, first and foremost, want to honor them and their bodies for everything it's done. And so if we can like start the process that way and then build the wardrobe, like that's my biggest goal, because it's like, can we just take a moment to thank our bodies for what you just created? You created a human. Like that's
from nothing.
That's a big deal.
Like I remember saying to Andy, like, I grew an eyeball today, probably. Like, what did you do? Yeah.
It was so true.
Yes.
And just
thank you for saying that too. Like just holding space for like how powerful our bodies are and what they are able to do.
It's
and even
phenomenal.
if you haven't had kids, like our bodies are still amazing. Like what they allow us to do and experience. Yes. Yeah.
Yes.
So thank you for saying that.
Yeah. No, I just think it's important. To me, working with postpartum moms, it's sort of a therapeutic process. And there are some emotions. I mean, we've definitely had tears in fitting rooms and that's okay. Like there's room for multiple emotions because it's a big transition and process.
It is.
So yeah, I think starting at that point and then honing into, okay, you had an identity prior to becoming a mom.
Mm-hmm.
Let's dive back into that and we can sort of collaborate other pieces of you are a mom now too. But let's make sure we keep your style in mind. It doesn't mean you can't still be you.
Exactly. So yeah. And I think you talked about how it was kind of a little bit of a therapeutic process. And I completely see that because one thing that they say there's so many parts of being a mom, you just don't know it until you've been there. But like one of the big things for me was I had this body my whole life and like I had weight fluctuations and stuff like that. But I still had known like what I felt good in, what looked good on me. And then it was kind of, well, outside of Carly, but prior, after that or whatever. But then to like go into the fitting room and those things no longer make you feel good about yourself. And then you just feel like, oh my gosh, my go-tos don't look good. Like I'm never going to feel good again. Like just this, you know what I mean? Puddle of like
defeated.
Everything is different. Nothing is the same. Like this, like even the things I thought were my go-tos, I would always feel like amazing and hot and good in this,
Yeah, it's totally starting from scratch.
Right. Totally.
Which is hard. It's overwhelming.
Yeah.
And you're already hormonal and all the things. So it's a lot for one person to endure. So as much as I know that there's a lot of emotions with it, I'm always happy to support that process because if someone can come out feeling a little bit better, amazing. That's what we want.
Yeah. And I think that like we all want to be pretty moms too.
Absolutely. Like you can be everything you want to be.
Everything you want to be. Yeah. And I think that there's just this idea, like, I'm a mom, so I can't, well, it doesn't matter. I'm a mom,
Exactly.
Like,
the stigmas.
You absolutely deserve more because you're a mom.
Yes.
Or not more, but to take care of yourself. And, like, you're going to find something you feel good in.
Exactly.
I didn't think that we would find anything. Sydnie always finds something. Like,
there's always something out there for you.
So if somebody can't afford a Sydnie because, like, you're expensive, but you're affordable, but you're expensive at the same time.
Sure.
What are some ways that they can, because you're so not about gatekeeping information. I love that about you.
No.
What are some spots people can go to kind of figure that out on their own?
Yeah. So I would say, number one, start with your closet. Go through your closet. Literally pull everything out that you have so you can see. Sometimes it's just a game changer to physically see what you have and start going through and trying things on. Mm-hmm. And just as you're trying things on, keeping note of, do I like this? Do I feel good in this? And start making purge piles. This is going to be donated. This I would like if it were tailored. Purge into that pile, or move into that pile, I should say. And then also thinking, keeping some seasonal storage. Mm-hmm. So if we're in winter right now, put your summer stuff away, because the more you have to look at in your closet, the more overwhelming it is to get dressed. And that is the first place that people get overwhelmed at when it comes to putting on an outfit in the morning. Mm-hmm. You're already probably running short on time.
Yeah.
And so starting in the closet would be great. Now, I help people do that often, but if they can't afford to do a service, I would encourage them to start there. And then as they purge the pieces, reset the closet, reorganize, go by color, garment, sleeve length, etc., just to better visually see everything. Mm-hmm. Wear all the things for, a few weeks, and then start taking note of, okay, I'm noticing that I have holes in these places. Don't go buy everything at once. I always say it's not an overnight process. You got to kind of live in your scenario for a bit to figure out mm-hmm. what the style is, what you need. And it can always grow into what you need it to be.
Right. And then one tip that you gave me that was like, you hadn't mentioned, but that was a total game changer. If it doesn't fit, get it out.
Yeah. And it doesn't mean you have to throw it out. Right. It just means put it in your seasonal storage. Just out of sight, out of mind.
Yeah.
Only focus on what you can wear right now.
But also, like, the things, because we had talked about, like, there are shirts that are never going to fit me again. Like, they never, well, unless I'm like, my titties redone. But, you know, as of right now, they are never going to fit me. Like, just because I'm, you know, my body's changed. I've gotten, like, my rib cage is, you know, your body literally, even if you're the same exact weight, like, muscularly, skeletally, everything, like, you shift. Exactly. And I remember you saying, like, to me, like, if you know you're never going to wear it again and it makes you feel bad that you're never going to wear it again, get it out. Like,
it's not good for the mental, emotional health to have those thoughts. Yeah. Especially the closet needs to be a happy place. Like,
right.
It needs to bring you joy.
I still have, like, the dress I had on, maybe, like, I think when Andy proposed to me, and it's like super teeny tiny, and I keep it, like, with my seasonal stuff, like you said, because it's like a fun memory.
Nostalgic.
I'll never fit it again.
It's something that you might share with your kids someday to be like, I wore this when your dad proposed to me, and that's special. Yeah. It's sort of like a wedding dress.
Yeah, it's with my wedding dress.
Yeah. And so that makes sense. And it could always be made into something else. Like,
yeah, but I don't keep it hanging there to think, like, look at how little, you know what I mean?
Exactly. That's not a healthy
And it's not healthy.
mindset.
Remember how, like, do you remember that whole, like, thing where women, it was always like, I was 100 pounds when I got married and I'm 100 pounds now and it's just like, shut up. Shut up.
The number doesn't matter. Same thing with sizing. Like,
get out of here. Like, why? Like, stop making women feel shitty about their bodies. I just am so, you know, like, there are clothes. Every body is beautiful and every body can be, like, dressed, like, can be played dress up with, right? Like,
exactly.
Yes.
It's all about the confidence you carry behind it. And
can you talk about kind of how you have had clients at every size?
Oh, yeah. I mean, I've had petite to petite plus and everything in between. And so it's just, everyone has a different canvas. But I will say no client I've had is exactly like another client. And that's what makes it so special, is that you're really finding your own brand in the process.
Perfect. So are there any other, like, mama-specific tips that you have, just like our wrap-up tips?
Totally.
Go ahead. Yeah,
so outside of having your...
I want you to tell me. No, I'm just kidding.
I was like, what'd I do? Outside of having the closet organized, that's going to really help you get dressed in the morning. But even pick out your outfit the night before. If you know that your next day is going to be hectic, there's nothing wrong with picking out your outfit the night before. It's going to save you 10 to 15 minutes sometimes, because you will have put on 3 or 4 outfits the next day that you didn't like. So
that is so legit. Oh my gosh.
It seems silly,
but I picked my kids' outfits the night before.
Exactly.
Why am I not doing that for myself?
Exactly. So many things we do as kids that really we should continue to do as adults. So picking out your outfit the night before, picking things that are, like, maintenance friendly. So if you know you're going to be in a pinch with getting things washed, picking out fabrics that are a little more friendly for that is also helpful. But beyond that, just owning your style. I think
own your style.
Own your style.
And Sydnie has the best tagline ever. I think that we should finish off with it. And I think we should just, everybody that's listening right now, make space, because this is a big one.
All right.
Okay, first plug yourself and then end with your tagline.
All right. Well, this is Sydnie with A La Mode Wardrobe Consulting in the Twin Cities. We can be found on social media platforms, Facebook, Instagram. And we also have our website, alamodewc.com. And my tagline that I came up with on the way here is dress for your day, dress for your mood, but most importantly, dress for you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I would say that Sydnie did not disappoint.
Never.
She was indeed fantastic.
She always is. She always is. Okay, should we do a mommy mailbag?
Yeah.
I'm going to read this one to you.
Okay, I'm ready.
Okay. And actually, it's pretty pertainable to this. This is Jessica from New York. I have a daughter who's struggling with self-esteem issues. How can I help boost her self-confidence and ensure she grows up feeling empowered? Well, number one, good on you, mama, for knowing your kid and checking in and seeing that. And two, good on you for taking any form of action to do something about it and invest in your daughter. Yeah. So, number one, like, you're modeling already that she's worth investing in, which gives her own value, like, to see, like, I am worth investing in. I think we both really struggled with body issues and, you know.
I love that you put it in a past tense. That's cute.
Yeah, but we're supposed to seem like wise now, you know?
I have no intention of pretending to be perfect.
Right.
You know?
Yes. But anyway, what I do try to model, and I know that you do too for my child, is that there are no bad bodies. There's just bodies. And they help us do what we need to do to get it done. But on the same note, like Sydnie said, we can feel good in our bodies and we can find things that help us feel confident. So do we almost just like plug Sydnie's advice where it's like, I would help your daughter find pieces or something that you see that kind of like visibly makes her like stand up a little straighter. Like, help her find something that physically helps her feel confident. And then I would reinforce all of the things that you love about her.
And specifically, I think things that are not aesthetic.
Yes.
I think if your daughter is struggling with self-esteem, you want to start noticing things that she does, traits that she has that are not visual.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
And that can be her fashion. Mm-hmm. That can be how well she did her hair. Like, that's still a skill, you know? But getting away from saying, oh, you look so thin today.
What a pretty girl. Yeah.
What a pretty girl.
I do like to emphasize, because my daughter is quite the fashionista, which is not everyone. But all kids struggle with finding themselves. I don't know how old the daughter is, but depending on like peer group age, what's most appropriate. You know, we want to help kids feel best about themselves, but we also want to not be tearing our kids down anymore. Like, we want to be in their corner, you know? But I think you're right, picking things that aren't aesthetic. Like, I have found a way to compliment Eloise's clothes without making it about her clothes. Like, I'll say things like, girl, you wear that outfit. It sure doesn't wear you.
Yeah.
Yeah, right? Like,
love that.
Yeah. And Eloise and I have like a banter because that's just her. But
ooh, girl, look at you feeling yourself today. I see that big smile on your face.
I love how
are you ready for Tuesday?
You always smile when you wear pink. I love how you smile when you have pink on. I can tell you're excited about it. You know, bringing it about that, but also having like the fun part of fashion in there, because seriously, there's nothing wrong with like aesthetically like making yourself like look on the outside how you feel on the inside, maybe. Or maybe you want to be really private on the inside and you're really, don't want that. You know what I mean? We can clothe and cover our bodies however we want, and all bodies are okay.
Totally. I also think it's hard to see young girls struggle with body image, but it's important to hold space for young girls and our friends to voice how they're feeling about their body. So even though you do not want your daughter to feel that way, like, make sure that you are listening in an open and calm way, and that you are a safe place for her to share what she's feeling about that. Because I know we've all had that experience, maybe not all of us, a lot of us, where I say to my friend, oh, I'm feeling fat. And then she says, no, you're not. You don't look fat. What are you talking about? And it's like, well, that's not really here nor there.
No, but what do we say to each other when that comes up? Historically, I remember us saying to each other is, I hate that you're feeling that. I know that feeling sucks.
That is such a hard way to feel.
You're feeling that.
Yeah.
It really is.
You are so strong and valuable, and it is horrible that society has made you feel.
Usually I'll be like,
this is a reason you are not valuable.
Okay, I'm guilty of being like, you're hot as fuck, aggressively.
Is it untrue?
Right.
No.
But at the same time, that's not the most important thing is holding space for the feeling, because we're not going to talk our daughters out of feeling self-conscious about their forehead. Like, some people have bigger foreheads. We're not going to talk our daughter out of feeling self-conscious about whatever it's always whatever it may be, her fingernails, whatever. Like, everyone finds something they don't like about themselves. We're not going to talk her out of believing that about herself, but the goal is to hold space for that insecurity, identify that insecurity, what does that really mean? I feel vulnerable about this. This makes me, I don't feel 100% good about this. Holding space for that for them. and not trying to talk them out of it. What do you mean? You're gorgeous. You're beautiful. Blah, blah, blah. I didn't even notice. Nobody notices that. No.
Not helpful.
Not helpful. Hold space for it. Ask if there's anything that you can do to help them feel supported. Because if Eloise is like, Mom, you know, if all this time there's this buildup and she's like, no, Mom, I just want you to take me to get bangs.
Yeah.
Okay. Like
asking questions.
How can I support you?
Yeah.
Yeah. And also, I spend so much time building my kid up. Like, you know what I mean? You have so many other wonderful qualities, but I spend so much time building them up that, like, I'm sorry you're struggling with that because you are fierce and you are amazing. And when I look at you, I see my soulmate and I see one of the most amazing human beings alive. And I wish you could see you how I see you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And coming at it with that, with vulnerability, while also holding space for her feelings.
I love that.
Yeah.
There's a million answers to this question.
There are. Okay, I think on that note, I'm Rachel with MindMomBodyRN. Look us up. We have a consulting business. And until next time, take care, Mama.